Many, upon hearing the proclamation of this gospel, would say that it's primarily about the suffering of Christ. And no doubt, they do mock him. They beat him. They torture him. They kill him in today's passage. But for you and I, the story is not primarily about the suffering of Christ. For you and I, the story is primarily about the love of Christ. His suffering is the consequence of his love for us. He came into this world out of love for us that we might have life. This is at the heart of the gospel. God so loved the world that he sent his Son. And so for us, when we hear this gospel, when we see the violence, we realize that at the very heart of it is a love that is unstoppable. A love that holds nothing back. A love that is salvific. This is our King. His triumph is not his entrance into Jerusalem. They were much greater celebrations of pomp. That was not his triumph, that the king had been brought to the holy city, but rather his triumph is when he ascends upon that cross and reveals to the world how much he loves us. This is how he defines himself. Unlike the rulers of the world around us who lord their power over their subjects, he has come to serve. Unlike those who will spend their time bickering with one another about who is the greatest, he will lay down his life for us. He defines himself in this passage as he institutes the Eucharist by telling us that he is a body that is broken for us, blood that is poured out for us. It is all about his love for us. He comes to serve us and our needs. In the face of this profound mystery, we have this Holy of Holy Weeks. A chance for us to break apart the mystery, to allow our hearts to be torn open, to experience the fullness of his love for us. I've talked to many parishioners who have told me, Father Leo, this year it seems like time is going so fast. Lent has slipped through my fingers. And I'm here today to say it's not too late. We have a week to prepare ourselves to celebrate these sacred mysteries. Let's seize them. No doubt you have responsibilities this week. But in the midst of those responsibilities, try to slow down, to take time to ponder his love for us. Because without his love, we are lost. And so I invite you, as you're leaving the church today, to make sure you grab a bulletin and spend time with that bulletin. Check out the Holy Week schedule, the devotions that are prepared. Begins with the Chrism Mass with the bishop on Monday. Those first few days of the week are times for us just to slow our lives down to prepare for the most sacred days of our liturgical year, the Holy Triduum, which begins on Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Come to the Mass of the Lord's Supper as he establishes a new covenant with us, as he shows us how we are to be conformed to him in service. And then on Good Friday, we gather in the afternoon after the 7 last words of Christ, reflections by your fellow parishioners. We gather at 3 p.m. for the commemoration of the Lord's Passion. And we too, having been conformed to him, embrace the triumph of the cross, embrace our crosses, as we confidently place our trust in the power of his love. Friday is for us one of 2 fast days on our church calendar. We had a fast day on Ash Wednesday, and we have a fast day on Good Friday. Now the church, everyone knows, sets down the bare minimum requirements, the legal minimum for a fast day. In other words, people have pestered the church long enough that the church says, okay, the least you can do. That's what the legal minimum is. It's the least you can do, which isn't much less than we do every day. 1 meal and 2 other meals that don't quite add up to that 1 meal. That's the legal minimum for fasting. So if you're looking for the legal minimum, that's it. Most of us can do more. Now, if you are operating heavy machinery, do not become faint. Eat something. If you are driving our kids on a school bus, do not fast for a week before you pick them up. But for the rest of us, we can do a little better than the legal minimum of the church. Now, the church says that Friday is a fast day, and where possible. Now, this where possible part can apply, I think, to most of us. Fast on Friday, and where possible, continue that fast into Holy Saturday. To continue that fast into Holy Saturday. That means if you bring your baskets, your Easter baskets on Holy Saturday for them to be blessed, that you shouldn't feast on the way home from the church that morning. Okay? That's for Easter or after the vigil. Okay? But the minimum, let's do a little bit more than the minimum. So, Good Friday, then on Saturday we have the vigil of all vigils, the mother vigil of the church, the Easter vigil, a celebration of great joy as we welcome brothers and sisters into the church, as we celebrate baptism and confirmations and the first Eucharist of these joining us for the first time. It is an opportunity for us to gather and to meditate on salvation history. It is a night of great joy. We gather for the Easter Vigil at 8 p.m. Now, of course, as you know, we have a great decorating committee in our church. We have the most beautiful decorations through Holy Week throughout the year. When you look in the church bulletin, you'll see opportunities, educational opportunities, devotional opportunities, and also opportunities to serve. Those on our decorating committee need some help. See the bulletin and offer your help to make this church as exquisite as it always is. We need that help. Lent may have slipped through our fingers, but Holy Week is here. It stands before all of us. It's not gone yet. Let's seize it. Because it's all about God's love for us. Let's experience it. Let us experience it personally, beginning tonight with our parish penance service. At the heart of Jesus' ministry was the sacrament of reconciliation, to reconcile us to God so that we personally, here and now, not in the end of our lives, but here and now, can experience the joy of being set free from our sins. Let us all experience that tonight. Here at 6:30, we have 5 priests that will be hearing confessions tonight. Let us seize this week, not let it slip through our fingers, because God's love for us is something we should savor, that we should allow to touch us, to transform us, to change everything.